I don't care what anybody says. This is the greatest scene in movie history ever, out of any movie ever made. I'm telling you, this is the best scene in any movie ever. Oh, I literally could have just watched an hour and a half of this. Hey guys, so how is it all going? So, finally, after me promising this for what feels like months, I have finally gotten around to watching Return of the Living Dead from 1985. And I remember watching this when I was a kid. I think I watched it maybe 2 or 3 times when I was a kid. And I remember liking it as a kid, but I didn't really remember it that much. So, rewatching it again, it was kind of pretty new to me. I just remembered little certain parts of the movie, but that was about it. And I have to be honest with you, I do enjoy the movie. I see why it's a huge cult classic. I mean, I absolutely get it. And I understand why there is so much love for this movie. And I do like it, but I don't love it. And there's one main reason to why I don't love it, which I will get to later in this review. But I do like the movie and I do appreciate the movie. And it's definitely on the list that if you haven't seen this film, guys, and you're going back and rewatching, you know, old classic horror movies like I am doing, this is definitely on the list to watch. I would put this in your top 10 of films that you do need to watch. And if you're a huge fan of zombie movies, this is a must-watch. You know, it's definitely one of the best zombie movies that has been released for sure. But anyway, to get into the Return of the Living Dead, it's a very simple plot, really. We have it's Freddie. It's Freddie's first day on the job at a medical supply warehouse, and he's being shown around by Frank. And then Frank turns around to him and tells him that Night of the Living Dead actually happened. And they have some of the bodies in containers down in the basement. And he goes to show him the corpses, as Frank puts it. And takes him down into the basement, shows him one of the corpses in the container. And for whatever reason, and I don't know why, he decides to whack the container and then it releases a chemical which makes the bodies in the medical supply warehouse come alive. Well, say bodies, it's one body, but then there's like half dogs and like butterflies on the board. It's actually quite cool. Makes them come alive. So what do you do if a body comes alive in your workplace? You ring your boss. So Bert, the boss, turns up. And they find out at this moment that nothing can really kill these things. I mean, not even a shot to the brain. Nothing can kill them. So they decide to chop the body up and send it over to the local crematorium, which is across the road, which is run by Bert's mate Ernie. And yes, you've heard that right, Bert and Ernie. Right. So Ernie agrees to stick him in the crematorium, burn the body, and that would be that. Turns out, no, that isn't that at all. The chemical that was on the body, the smoke, goes out the chimney, into the clouds, makes it rain. And unfortunately for our main characters, there's a local graveyard. And the rain drops on there, and then the zombies rise. Mayhem ensues, and we have Return of the Living Dead. And I will get into my positives to start with. And I like the movie. I do like the movie. It's funny in parts. And I like some of the characters. I think Bert and Ernie are really good. I like some of the gang that are in it. I especially like Elena Quigley, or Ilana Quigley, or however you pronounce the name. I don't know. I'm sorry if I've butchered the name. As Trash. She's probably my favourite part of this movie for the most obvious of reasons. Not for her acting or anything. But yeah, she's great. The guy that plays Suicide is great as well. And some of the look of the zombies are absolutely brilliant. I mean, some of the effects for its time are really good, especially the main zombie, which everyone remembers from this movie, Tarman, which is the zombie in one of the containers down into the basement. He is cool looking. Absolutely cool looking. I love him. And the guy that they got him to play him in the suit, the way he just moves and everything is really cool. I like it. And I also like the female zombie near the end, the half one that they managed to tie to the table. And that's where you find out like why they eat brains and stuff, because apparently it's painful being dead, and eating brains takes away that pain. And that's what I like about this film as well. I mean, I'm pretty sure back in the day that all you thought of zombies was like slow moving, like not really intelligent beings, And I think this is one of the first movies that made zombies like quite intelligent. They can talk, they can interact with you, they can move quite quick. So they're not really slow. I mean, when they manage to get all them cop cars down into the graveyard, see how fast they attack them cars. Do you know what I mean? So they're quite fast moving. So I think this must have been one of the first movies that did that. And I love the score and the soundtrack to this movie. It's iconic. It really is. Honestly, I'm pretty sure as soon as the score starts, you know exactly what film this is from. Like Return of the Living Dead. You just know it is probably one of the best scores and soundtracks to a movie ever, in my opinion. I love it. Absolutely love it. And it's extremely well directed as well. There's some really cool shots in this. And for the low budget that this movie is, it looks more expensive. They did a lot with little. And I always appreciate that. I really do. But going into my negatives, and I know I'm in the minority over this. I know I am. And I know a lot of you are going to massively disagree with me on this one. But I'm sorry, it's just the way I feel. I can't help it. And what stops me from loving the movie to just liking the movie is the two main characters, Frank and Freddie. I could not stand them. I'm sorry. I know it's an unpopular opinion. I know, I get it. I just couldn't bear them. And it was more so when they smack the canister and the chemical comes up and they breathe it in. And obviously that chemical's making them die basically, but it's a very slow process throughout the movie and they gradually get worse. And it's more near the second half where they're close to dying, and it's just the moaning and the screaming and the "I'm here, Iron!" That is all they're doing, and it drives me mad. Honestly, every time they were on screen, I was just like, get them off screen, just move along quick, because all they were doing was, I'm in pain, what do you mean? I know I'm in the minority on this, I know, but I couldn't stand them. And what made it even worse was when Freddie, which I think is the young lad Freddie, when he actually eventually does turn into a zombie. Oh, he's even worse then. He's just constantly like, brains, Tina. I get it. I get it. He's a zombie. I get it. They all make noise, but for whatever reason, it just grated me. I couldn't stand him. I couldn't. And that's another character that Tina, that plays Freddie's girlfriend in the movie. Right, so all this shit's going off. So you all know that the zombies attacking them now, and they want to eat you. Well, not you. They want to eat your brains, right? Well then, yeah, they want to eat you, right? So they stick them in the chapel part of the crematorium, Frank and Freddie. And Tina goes in there and goes, "No, I want to stay with Freddie. Just lock the door behind me." What? got to be one of the most stupid moves a character has ever done in a horror movie ever. And then lo and behold, like he eventually, turns and then wants to eat her brains. And then she gets scared running around. Help! If I was bitten any and all them, I wouldn't bother. Just leave her in there. You know what I mean? She bought her own ticket there. Just keep her in there. Oh yeah, it was so stupid. But overall, guys, I do enjoy this movie. But just the characters of Freddie and Frank just knock it down for me. They really do. And I know I'm in the minority on this, guys. I really do. But I've got to be honest. And I just couldn't stand them. I couldn't. All that moaning. And I know they're dying. And I know it's supposed to be painful. I get it. But, oh, God. Yeah. I couldn't bear them. I couldn't bear them. We needed more Quigley dancing naked on tombstones. That's what we needed. Get them off the film. We'll get more Quigley. Right? But guys, I do highly recommend this movie. It's one of the better ones that I have reviewed on this channel. So it does get a solid 4 out of 5 for me. It would be a 5 out of 5, but like I say, just the two main characters just dragged it down for me eventually. It just did. I'm sorry. But it is a solid 4 out of 5. I highly recommend this. And I'm looking forward to watching part 2. But like I say, I believe part 2 is not very well received. But I haven't seen part 2 in a long... Have I seen part... I think I have, I think I have at some point, but I really do not remember it. So, I'm looking forward to part 2. And... oh, I'm just still thinking about the Frank and Freddie characters. Like, they did my head in. Maybe it was just the mood I was in when I was watching it. I don't know. But, oh my God. Yeah. Anyway, guys, that's been my Return Living Dead review. I really hope you've enjoyed it. I am so sorry it's took so long to get here, but, just life gets in the way sometimes, as always, doesn't it? But, guys, please take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you again real soon. Take care, guys. Bye now.